Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of The Weekly. It's the holidays, so I had to be festive. Thank goodness I'm going all in for this holiday. 2020's been rough and thrown a lot of bad stuff at us. But there's been some really nice silver linings. I think the way people have adapted and come together to do things in a new way has been absolutely fantastic. And that touched all parts of our lives. And not just in the US, really worldwide. And I think the second thing is how much we have relied on each other and how important our friends and our loved ones and our families and the people we work closely with, just how important they are and have really been a big part of how we've been able to get through this. So enough of 2020, on to 2021, and I'm expecting that everyone's going to be in a much better spot. So let's get into today's show. Our sponsor is Bilco Company. And when you ask professionals what do they think about Bilco, the first word that comes up, dependability. They are also a leader in design and workmanship. They have basically pioneered their own category and all the different product development they have and bring to the marketplace for both commercial and residential. So they have a full line of products. Please check them out on bilco.com. So let's get to our first segment. And it's pretty interesting. There's a new thing, a National Institute for AI for Construction. We've done a couple segments on AI, and I don't know about you, but I find them incredibly fascinating and how it's being integrated into our market. So this consortium is made up of 40 AEC firms, venture capitalists, and tech companies. And the goal is let's accelerate AI into our marketplace where we think it can work the best. Listen to this.
The National Academies a few years ago came up with a report highlighting the challenges that we're facing in construction. So there are quite a few problem areas and pain points that are highlighted when it comes to how we are, addressing some of the productivity and efficiency issues that we have in construction. At the same time, if you look into what is happening in the area of AI and machine learning, obviously these areas have been part of the national spotlight because they do solve real problems. And as part of that, obviously, there was a executive order from the federal government that is highlighting the importance of, putting investment into AI. But unfortunately, the set of problems that have been always addressed by AI have been set of problems that are easier to expose themselves in terms of the application. There are quite a few examples of that. Autonomous driving, that's the type of problem that, billions of dollars are being invested in labeling data that can be used to train machine learning and AI algorithms. Or internet advertising. I mean, these, areas have always been, available. But they've not been necessarily applied to enterprise-grade applications like construction. And one of our goals has always been figure out a way that we can, bring in this wealth of capabilities in AI to construction. So with this executive order, National Science Foundation provided funding for, bringing AI to various application domains. And we teamed up with a large number of industry partners, as you mentioned, close to about 40, to really look into what are the set of problems that we can define that can have short-term impact, what are the set of problems that we can define that would have long-term impact in science and application of AI.
In our next segment, we look at the rise of eSports facilities. They're everywhere. It's one of the hottest niches in the marketplace right now. And games like Call of Duty and FIFA, it's exploding. Dave Barista talks to 3 experts about what's going on and where it's going on. It's amazing.
I'm wondering, have you guys sort of documented the types of esports facilities that exist out there and maybe some that we might see in the near future?
So what we took a look at is to what you're saying, the catalog, what's out there in the market right now. And really that boils down to three types of facilities. First, you have the collegiate facility, which right now is somewhat hosted in called the recreational side of colleges, but moving to the athletic side, typically around 3,000 square feet, maybe a little larger, but really focused on gaming. The next level facility is really the public use facility. So it's a pay to play hourly. You have now maybe 100 to 200 gaming hubs. And you're in a warehouse type space that's probably around, call it 15 to 20,000 square feet. You might have a stage in there to have some live events, but it's really not until you get to the professional level where it's event-driven design, where you have capacity for 1,500 to 3,500 seats for viewing. You also have now food and beverage amenities, and it really transforms itself really into that professional tier environment. And so what we took a look at is how to really adapt some of the best features of those prototypes into a prototype to move into the future. And it's really grabbing a little bit of each. We're trying to get the viewing capacity up to at least 1,500 seats for tournament play. You also have a very large integration of media, studio space, spaces for casters to shape their craft as well, since the caster side is almost just as important as the competitive side of esports. And so you start to get these different areas of energy or revenue streams that because the player is mobile, we want them to touch as much and be able to experience as much in the facility. So we don't really anticipate the viewer, the patron, staying put. We anticipate them to be mobile.
So that ends our show for this week. It's our last show of the year. Thank goodness. Not because of the show, we love the show. The year hasn't been our favorite. I'm sure it hasn't been yours either. And we'll see you on 2021, which I think we're all looking forward to. If you'd like to catch up on any of the segments you haven't seen, they're on Horizon TV and on YouTube, and you can access the individual segments. So watch what you want. If you have any suggestions for our 2021 show, please email me, tmancini@sgcmail.com. Huge shout out to our sponsor, Bilco Company, who's been the pioneer and the leader in specialty access products. You can see all their information at bilco.com. Please enjoy the holidays, soak it all in. Let's leave 2020 on a good note. Be safe out there. Let's get through this winter and towards the vaccine. And let's everyone really embrace here. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in January.